Hi, everybody. This is Lex from the Azure on Air podcast. Today, I have with me Alex Pshul from Ontario in Canada, and we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. Being Azure AI agents. Basically, these are an extension in Azure Foundry. This is all very new technology, but very exciting. I'm sure Alex has some good stories and experience to tell about it. So Alex, before we start with the actual session, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, so my name is Alex Pshul. Nice seeing you here, Lex, as well. Um, I've been working in the software industry, I don't know, from whenever I can remember myself. Not professionally. Professionally, I have about 14 years of experience, but my whole life was about computers and software. I've worked on above 35 different projects up until this point, mostly on .NET and TypeScript. I've been doing Azure for a very long time. And today I'm almost 5 years in being an Microsoft Azure MVP. Um, I enjoy doing Azure functions. I enjoy doing AI stuff lately, obviously, as everyone else. So
Yeah. Who doesn't? Yeah. And in your day-to-day life, what's your job? What's the company you work for?
I'm currently the chief software architect at a startup called Impro AI. We are using AI to help companies grow and perform better through conversation with our own specialists, with our own strategists. And then using AI, we analyze the conversations and we help companies to achieve more results, to get better at what they do.
That must be pretty amazing to do and also work with teams and see what's possible because probably also for you that takes a lot of exploration, right? In terms of what's
Yes,
possible, the business cases, this kind of stuff.
yes, indeed.
Yeah,
We were working with AI for I think we were one of the first clients to use Azure OpenAI, so we started it very early, and this thing just blew out of proportion.
yeah, yeah. That's really great. That's really great. Yeah. And everything that we're going to have a look at in a minute or so, is that also the kind of technologies that you use on a day-to-day basis, or have there been other
So
AI technologies?
not yet. This is definitely something I think will be the future of AI, having those different agents in your system that every agent knows how to do different stuff in your system. But this is a very, very early technology, so and it is in preview. I
Hmm.
usually one of those who say, yeah, it's in preview, but sure, you can go start using it. Do not use it yet. It's not ready. It's super cool. Learn it as soon as you can, but do not use it in production yet.
No. Yeah. Are there any timelines for GA as far as you're aware of?
Not as far as I know. This
No.
is, I'm
Yeah.
talking about this going out maybe a month ago or something like that, maybe even less. So
Yeah.
I don't know about any GAs yet.
Yeah. Okay. So that will certainly still take some time. Yeah. Just what I told you right before we started the recording. I had a look at it during my lunch break, and it is really impressive how easy Microsoft actually makes it to enable people to create their own AI agents. Um, but let's just have a look at what you all have to tell, right? I'll move to the other screen.
All right. Well, I will show a bit of slides and boring stuff that is more theoretical, but we will get into a very cool demo later, hopefully. With praying to the demo gods, nothing
Democrats.
will, yeah,
Exactly.
nothing will fail. And if it will, we will fix it. You will see how live this thing is and how unstable this is.
We'll work it out. It's impressive. So, well, let's see how it goes.
Let's go. All right. So this is my favorite thing, I think, from this entire thing. So brace yourselves, agents are coming. And usually I do start my presentations from bit of a backstory, but specifically for this set of slides, I did want to start from telling about myself because it's very important for this specific case. As I said, I'm software architect, consultant, Microsoft Azure MVP. I already said all of these things, but what I did not say is that I'm a huge Matrix fan. From when I was back in '99, when I saw this first
The
movie
very first one.
went out, it was amazing. I loved it. I already was playing with computers, and now we have the agent service. You have no idea how happy I am about it. It's like my childhood dream coming true. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of Matrix references here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, so to introduce, just to give a few ideas about what this is, Microsoft for a while now was focusing mostly on AI and everything related to it. So they started from announcing the Azure OpenAI Studio, which was great. Then they moved on to creating just regular AI Studio for every other stuff that they have. And now it's the AI Foundry. In the AI Foundry, it's like the hub for everything you need. But we are going to talk specifically about one thing inside it called AI Agent Service. And you can access it in two different ways. You can go to the actual AI Foundry, and we will go there and we will see how you create an agent. Um, and you, Lex, will help me to instruct it, by the way. So get ready to remember references from the Matrix movie. Um, and we are going to use Azure SDK as well to actually access it, provide it with some more tools, and see how everything works together. So if we are talking about the agents, there are four different pillars for our agent, and let's put our agent in the center and talk about what builds an agent on Azure AI Agent Service. First of all, it's just an SDK with some small twinkling on the back. The main bone here is your LLM model you're going to choose to run your agent. Behind the scenes is just an LLM model, right? Nothing too crazy or special. So once you choose the LLM model and you have, I'll talk about it a bit later, you need to instruct it on how it should behave, how it should talk, what it knows about, what's the purpose of this model and everything. So also we'll talk about this and we will write one later on. Once you have those two set up, these are the things that are a must. Without them, you cannot proceed. You can create just an LLM model and use it, but it wouldn't be an agent, right? So you need to choose the right model, you need to choose and set the right instructions, and then you provide the knowledge to
Yeah,
your agent. Now, knowledge is something that obviously all the LLMs today, they're trained on many different articles and different texts and whatnot. But if you are creating an agent for your system, this is not something an LLM can know about. Even if you fine tune your own model from a base LLM model, it's still going to be just, okay, this is how the user wants me to answer, but it's not really knowledgeable. You cannot inject too much knowledge in it. Sure, you can use RAG, but again, RAG is just part of it. You have other ways to provide knowledge back to your LLM. We'll talk about this as well. Last thing, it's the coolest one, is your AI agent can perform actions. And we have the what we currently have, and I will say what's planned for the future, which is just looks amazing and super exciting. And I can't wait for this actually happening. So I'll show you what we have, and I'll tell you what we will have in the
what it
future.
will be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so LLM models, if you go to AI Foundry, what you will see is a huge catalog of different LLM models, ranging all the way from OpenAI models of o1 and GPT-4o, and you can see open source models, and you can see Llama by Meta and Cohere and whatever. You have many different options here to choose from.
Yeah.
If you can see this nice number here, it's
Yeah.
over 1,800 models, which is
That's huge.
crazy. It's,
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
yes, I have no idea how to even start picking something up. You do have a catalog and filtering and stuff like that, but yeah, it's definitely something to consider. The thing is, if you do pick a few models, you can evaluate each one of them either manually or automatically. That's a whole different session how you can evaluate those models. But if you do know what this is and how to evaluate models, you have tools for it built in into AI Foundry, so you can go there, evaluate your models, pick the one that's right for your use case, and just use it. So it should be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Instructions. I think that's the most fun slide I ever did. Not just in this presentation, but ever did. I'll tell you why. So this is our view of creating an agent. And you can see here, you have this small instructions window. Obviously, you can set it in the SDK as well. But if we read it just like very briefly, give your agent clear directions on what to do and how to do it. Include specific tasks, their order, and any special instructions like tone or engagement style. You, yeah, you understand what you need to do, but something that I think Agent Smith told it much, much better, and which is to provide the purpose.
Yeah.
Without the purpose, agent does not exist. It creates it, it connects them, pulls, guides, drives, defines, binds. I'm sure if you saw, this is from Matrix 2, if you saw the movie, that's one of the best speeches that Agent Smith ever gave, and it fits here like a glove. Give your agent a good purpose by using the instructions well, and it will do what you need it to do.
Yeah.
Knowledge. You have a few things to consider here. Um, Starting from a regular file upload. You can grab your files from your system with your knowledge. It could be text files, it could be MD files, whatever, JSONs, whatever you need. Grab it, create a vector store, upload it there. It vectorizes your information, and there you go.
Yeah.
Magically,
Word
as it sounds.
documents, Excel sheets. Yeah, you can all use it,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
can just upload it. It will vectorize everything.
Indeed.
And yeah, the agent will just know about it magically.
Yeah.
Well, not magically, but for us, it's magical. We don't need to do anything else.
In the end, it's just code.
Exactly. Then, if you need some more heavy lifting, you have the Azure AI search, which is much more powerful. And usually you will use it if you have much more data than can fit into a single file, right? So let's say you want your entire database to be searchable, not just searchable by keyword, but let's say you want semantic search. So if I'm saying, hey, I'm doing today this podcast, right, about something about Azure. Uh, if I search something like that, it will give me options, not necessarily with the word something in Azure, but it will semantically search the database and know what I'm talking about. Um, and if you connect this to the agent, your agent will be as smart and know semantics and not just keywords from vectorized data
Yeah.
set, which is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's indeed the difference, right? Files that you upload, they are static.
Exactly.
And with so it sounds like with AI search, the data can be more dynamic, and at least also indeed the the sizes, the amount of data that can be processed will be much more, of course.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have this huge amount of data which you index using Azure AI Search, and then you just turn on semantic on it, and
Yeah.
that's it. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And last, which I find super fascinating, it's the grounding with Bing search. So imagine you want to search the internet using your agent. Now you can do it. All you have to do is create the resource, connect it to your agent, and now you have the knowledge of the internet and not just the knowledge of your own, bubble inside your system. It does come with some caveats, so you do need to uh, let go of some, let's say, privacy concerns and stuff like that, because it is connected to the internet. It will send information to the internet. So if you are about compliancy for privacy and security, which many of us are, specifically in this industry, so it might not be a good use for you, unfortunately. But if you are creating something that's not really concerned about this sort of things, this is a huge tool for you to use and add capabilities and knowledge to your agent. So this is what the agent knows. Now, what the agent can do, and I'll tell you what it can do now. Um, we can start from Code Interpreter, which is super cool. If you ever used inside VS Code or Visual Studio or Rider or Webster. I think like every other coding IDE today, you have the GitHub Copilot, right? And you have some other uh, extensions that allow you to help you code better using AI. Code interpreter is very similar to that. You can upload your code to your agent. It will allow you to work with that specific code. And if we are talking Python, it can even run it behind the scenes and let you know the results. The nice thing is your agent can create the code, you can upload it back to the agent, and it can run it. So it's a loop that you can create to actually code and start creating stuff like that. So uh, really, really cool and super exciting to test it once you have a bit more capabilities in it. This one is super exciting. If you have any OpenAPI 3.0 specs, you can just upload a file and your agent will automatically know how to call those URLs to get the information or do some actions.
Hmm.
And many of us, we have a lot of systems that export those OpenAPI specifications. So if all you want to do is allow your agent to call your backend, just upload the OpenAPI specs and that's it. You're done. That as
Yeah.
easy as it sounds.
Yeah.
My favorite, Azure Functions.
Mhm.
As I told you at the beginning, that's one of my things I love to do on a daily basis, twinkle with Azure Functions and serverless technology. So right now you can create, I think it's just in Python right now. I hope it will be extended to other languages as well. You can create a Python Azure function that hosts the agent and can run independently function apps inside just because you connect them inside the same Azure function.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, should be cool. Let's see how it evolves. I think that's the least polished one out of all of them.
Hmm.
But I have a sweet spot for Azure Functions. I decided to include it here as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something we will talk about today more and we will see it in action is the custom functions. So if you ever used any LLM models in the code, you know about function calling or tool choice, that's exactly the same thing, but in a nice way of setting everything up under the agent itself. Again, super easy to use. We'll see how it behaves and how we can connect. And we'll even try to create a custom function live today. Again, hoping nothing will break while we do it.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So all this
Uh,
is already available, right? This is
yes,
all
yes.
related to code interpreter, but indeed there are, I believe, three other areas that are also expected to come. But yeah, those are not yet there. So maybe
So
that will come
all,
even
all
tomorrow.
of these, all the four here, you can use them today, right?
Okay.
There is,
Okay.
there is one thing that's coming that I know about for fact. Which that should be crazy once it's actually rolls out. And this is Logic Apps.
Yeah.
Logic Apps,
Yeah.
if you're not familiar, whoever is not familiar with Logic Apps, is basically a drag and drop interface for different connectors to different services. They have about, I think, if I remember correctly, more than 1,000 different connectors for different resources and sources. So you can send emails, you can send SMS messages, you can send WhatsApp messages, whatever you want, with just dragging and dropping some tools. So imagine an agent that you create, and all you need to do is drag and drop a capability like you now can send emails, you can now send SMS messages, give the right instructions, and you're done. That's it.
Correct.
You basically can create your own agent that sends emails for you just because you talk to it and just, okay, create an email and send it to someone. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Should be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be triggered in different ways. That kind of stuff. And things. It's a complete visual designer, right, that you use, and
Yes.
yeah, drag and drop. It's a kind of a workflow that you define.
hmm
It's very powerful.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. It's going to be crazy. Once it's actually out, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about all the four pillars. And as Morpheus said, no one can show what agents are or Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. So let me open up Azure AI Foundry. Let me hope I'm on a different screen now, so sorry
Yeah.
about that.
That will come.
There we go. All right. There we go. Here it is.
There you are.
So we are in the Azure AI Azure Foundry. There we go. Let me enlarge it a little bit just to
Yeah.
make sure
That's
that
great.
everyone
Yeah.
can see, and so on. Just to give a quick note back, here is you see it's already more than what I showed you. They
Yeah.
just keep adding more and more models just for the fun of it. This is the huge catalog. You can search and find whatever model you want. And here on the left, you can see we have the agent new service. It's in preview, as I said. So again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Wait, don't use it in production, please. Just yesterday, the demo I prepared for today, yesterday it broke. So
Oh,
don't,
oh no.
it's fine now, it's working, but I had to go and twinkle it a bit. So that's why I'm saying not production ready.
No. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, so I had a few agents here, but it's,
Mhm.
let's just create a new one. Here, we just delete this one. And I want to show you how to create a new agent. And please pay attention because it's very important. You have this new button here, new agent, and you click on it and you're done. You have a new agent. That's it. That's as fast and as easy it is. You have your agent ID. Let's give
Yeah.
it a name, of course, Smith, because you know why. I don't need to explain it again. And
No.
now, Lex, give me instructions for Agent Smith. What should Agent Smith do?
Yeah. What can we let them do? Um,
Let's say,
uh, maybe cloning himself. He's doing it anyway, right? So that's not really
okay, you
okay.
should be able to clone yourself when told, and that's actually connects great to the demo. So you hit the really good spot here. Let's say your goal is to enslave humanity inside the matrix system. You hate humans. I didn't write this, so there we go. And if you recall his famous speech from Matrix 1, it's the smell. That's how he phrased it in the first movie. Um, let's make it fun. Address the user as Mr. Anderson, just for the fun.
Yeah. Who else, right? Yeah.
Yes. Again, not correctly. Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it. We have instructions. Well, once we focus out, it saves it, and that's it. So here we have the knowledge and actions we talked about, and you can add one of the three. As I said, it will upload the file and create the vector for you, or you can connect your existing Azure AI search. So you can do everything here from the portal. For actions, you are limited to just code interpreter right
Yeah.
now. Anything else you need to do through code, and custom functions we will do through code now. So um, let's dive into it. First of all, let me copy this agent ID because we're going to use it. And let me fire up my Visual Studio Code. Zooming in a little bit. Let me hide the other agent here, which is the Copilot agent. And let's work on it. So we have here our Smith TS file. This is TypeScript code, so if you're not familiar with it, I do apologize, but I am keeping the code as simple as possible just to make it easy for everyone to follow. So let's paste our newly created agent ID here, and let's walk through the code a bit, just 35 lines of code, including all the imports, so it should not be a problem. Uh, we are printing something to the console saying that we're searching for Agent Smith. And while we search, what we will do is we will use the AI projects client coming from the package Azure AI projects. And this connection string is the connection string for your AI Foundry, for your project inside the AI Foundry. You don't need anything specific to the agent service. All you
No.
need is an actual connection to your Foundry project, and you can use everything below it with one single connection string, including
Yeah.
the agents. So
Yeah.
that's super
Maybe.
cool. We have the client. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Once you have the client, you have here a few options actually, right? You have different connections and telemetry, but this is the new options of agents. You get the specific agent that you want. We say that we found it once it actually resolves and found it. Yay, found agent Smith. And then we need to update the agent with the tools we're going to bring to the agent. So um, we have here a tools, like a tools folder directory with different tools that the agent can do. And basically it has here 3 tools. We'll get into them just slightly later. I'll explain how it works. But once you provide the definitions for the tools, your agent is ready to go. You create a thread and then you start a conversation, just looped it with a true. Obviously, it's not production ready, this sort of code, but just for the fun of it. I added some colors, so it will be nice and pretty, this entire thing. Um, you're asked to say something, you start conversing with the agent, and once you run the stream, here's you create a run and stream the response back.
Yeah.
And you get the response, we print the stream. Again, this is just a helper function. It gets the stream, analyze it, and just outputs the characters from the stream, nothing fancy. But the important part is if we have tool calls, this is something the agent tells you back. Based on the message you provided me, here are the tools I want you to call. And these tools will be one of those previously provided tools. That's
Hmm.
the entire connection, right? Once you get the tool calls, what you need to do is call the actual tool, get the output, and provide it back to the agent with the specific ID you just got. Once you get the ID, provide the output, you run it again, get the new stream, and then you get the message back. Sounds a bit complicated,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah.
It's really very, very easy and straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so let's take a look at the versions tool. And this is, again, super, you see how short the code is. There's nothing too complicated here, right? So all we're doing, I I asked GPT to generate me some versions of previous Smiths. Obviously, it's nonsense, but for the fun of it. And all I'm doing is I read this JSON, and when asked to provide a list of versions, all I do is just provide the version, the name, and when it was released, without the extra content, just to get the full list of the versions. For the definition itself, we do need to use the tool utility coming from the same package to create a function tool. Obviously, you can create it just as an object, but this is a handy dandy tool for you to use. You give it a name, you give it a description of what your tool does, and you use here just regular semantic words. You don't need to do anything structured. LLM will know how to connect the dots and call this. And we don't have any parameters here, so this one is empty. I will show you how this should look like. This is a regular JSON schema. And that's about it. You have your function, you have your definition, tool is ready, right? That's about it. Now you do need to call it, obviously. So we have the invoker. Again, not something too crazy. We have a map between the name of the function here, how to grab the arguments that the LLM will send us back and convert them back so we can call the actual function. So this is like a generic implementation of it, nothing too special about it or complicated. You have very similar example in the official documents, so we'll talk about it a bit later. And that's it. You have the invoker, you get the tool call, you get which function to call. Again, I put some colors so it will be easy, nice to see what's happening over there.
Nice. Yeah.
Grab the function, call it, get the result, and you send this result back from the invoker, which we will then feed back to the agent. That's the entire flow, right?
Yeah.
So if we are talking now about clones, and this is why I'm saying, and we did not rehearse it, so it's amazing that you picked cloning.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. But that's what
I,
you know from Smith, right? I mean, there
yeah,
are dozens.
exactly, exactly. So we have here 2 actions for cloning. We have one of them, which is clone Smith and get Smith's count. So we can clone it and we can query understand how many Smiths are there right now. So just getting the count, obviously I just put it here in the memory, we're not going to do databases now or something. So just in the memory to see that it starts from 1. And the idea here is very simpler. You use the same tool utility and it just grabs and returns this Smith count here, just returns it. That's your entire function that Smith can call now. For cloning, now we get to the parameters part, and that's, I think, the most complicated ever thing here in agents. You need to tell it, is it which parameters here are required. So you're saying this is the parameter, this is the one, great. And you need to define it, right? So your parameters are an object. This object has properties, replication factor, it's an integer, and describe with words what this property is. This is the number of Smiths to add to the world. Awesome. That's about it. Now your agent knows how to clone itself and put a higher number, obviously. Now, all we are going to do is just, here's the function. All we're going to do is just add it here, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a very long and tedious logic that you can implement inside your own system. It could
Hmm.
go to databases. It can go to a different URL and fetch more data and do some magic, send emails, whatever you need. This is your space, your code to do whatever you want and need inside your system. So I think actually we talked a bunch about it. Should be enough. Let's try to run it.
Yeah, yeah,
So if we call npm start and it will run it, everything, searching for Agent Smith. Fingers crossed. There we go, found Agent
there
Smith.
we go.
I was
Very good.
worried. This is the part that failed on me yesterday. I was
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
worried.
yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah.
All right, Lex, what do you want to say to Agent Smith?
What do I want to say? Find Mr. Anderson.
Find Mr. Anderson. All right, and Mr. Anderson, seems you're attempting to avoid your destiny, but rest assured, I will always find you. It's inevitable. Would you like me to start increasing the? I'm sorry, but I cannot sync you with the
Oh.
request. That's the LLM error here. That probably it went through some filtering or something. I'm not sure. Um, sure. Okay. So let's just do. Tell me about your available versions, and we will see now that it's calling the function tool, as you saw, without any
Yeah,
arguments.
yeah, yeah,
And you can see
yeah,
here, Mr. Anderson, here are the available versions of Agent Smith. And you can see here uh, all the different versions. We can see here we are at version 5.0. The Smith we know, the release date is unknown because if you remember, he's a rogue agent. He did not clean and return to the source. So now he's, we don't know what's happening to him. And obviously, how many are there of you? We can see it will call another tool without arguments. It will say currently one of me in the world and clone yourself 10 times. And we can see that it will call here with arguments
yeah,
of 10.
yeah,
I
yeah.
successfully cloned myself, Mr. Anderson. There are now 11 of me. The matrix power to enslave humanity is growing stronger. Amazing. Right, so that's like the regular demo, but I do want to show you how easy it is to actually add another custom function to the system. Because yeah, we saw code, but I want to show you how easy and fast it is to add another capability. So let's go back to versions. Now we can just list the versions, right? But what if I want to read more about a specific version? So as you can see here, we have version name and release date, which we return, but we have primary objectives, we have notable features, outcomes, solutions, we have much, much more. So let's create another one. And if you are using GitHub Copilot, it's even easier, and I'll show you how. Const, and let's say get specific version, and there we go. It just autocompletes me all the way. It's smart enough to understand. This is the next edition, by the way, feature. If you heard about it, get specific version. You get the version from this version's JSON. Find it. If you don't have it, throw an exception. We don't want to throw an exception. Probably we want to maybe just return error version is not found. Just to be nice to the agent, not to throw them off. Um, and if everything is fine, we will get this version back, all this data. So looks good. No, we don't need this. It's fine. All right. So that's the actual function. But if you recall, we also need the definition, right? So const definition, and there we go. Just goes on and completes everything for me. Is it cheating? Yes. Is it cool? Also yes. So
Yes, certainly. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah,
you have the get specific version definition, name, get details of a specific version of Agent Smith. You get the object string, um, property there, and the version of Agent Smith to retrieve. That's about it. We need to export everything from here, and that's it. He should get laced. No, no, it's fine. Okay, we're done. Okay, we just added a new custom function to the system. We need to add it back to the agent. So if you recall, we are going to go back to Smith and we are going to add here get specific version tool dot definition. We just added this back to our agent,
yeah,
as easy as that. Now we also need to add it
yeah,
to the invoker, and again,
yeah,
there we go. It will help me out here. Obviously, we need to add the import, and there we go. That's it.
yeah, yeah,
As easy as that, right? So let's test it. npm start, and let's see what Agent Smith has to tell us now. Found Agent Smith. Cool. Tell me about your versions,
exactly. Yeah,
and then function calls gets all the versions. Now it exported it's a little bit different, which is fine. Pick a version, Lex.
yeah. Smith as a service.
Smith service, yes, the famous SaaS service. Yes. So let's say 3.9. Let's see if it's smart enough. There we go. You wish to delve deeper into version 3.9, Smith as a service. Here's a closer look. And it gives us everything that we want about this model, including notable features, outcomes, and solutions, something you can get only with this new function tool we just created. So I don't know, it took me 1 minute, 2 minutes. If we consider GitHub Copilot,
Yeah,
even less. So super
yeah,
cool and nice.
yeah,
All right. That's about it about the demo. Again,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
that's I just wanted to show how easy and fast it is to create this. So just to summarize a few points, what I suggest to do from here, and this is you need to do it yourself. I cannot
yeah. Of
show you
course.
the door. I can show you. You need to walk through the door yourself,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
And the source of
yeah,
everything, or the sources, right? So uh, go to AI. Sorry, you have the Microsoft Learn place to learn everything that you want to learn if you want to tackle it yourself. But, and there is a big but here, I suggest you go to the AIAzure.com portal,
the Foundry portal.
create a resource.
Yeah.
Yes, Foundry portal. Create the resource and start playing with it on your own, because even the documentation is a little bit out of sync of what's happening
Mm,
in the SDK. That's super new. This entire thing is very, very new, and things
yeah,
change there constantly. So even if you grab their code, their demo code, just copy paste it, not everything is going to work. So the idea is to play around with it, and obviously
yeah,
you can clone my GitHub repo and try it yourself. It's out there, and you're welcome to try it yourself. Just add
yeah,
your connection string and give it a go.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and now you have shown the examples already in code, right? But
Yes.
even in the Foundry portal, you have the chat capabilities. So an agent that you have just created, you can immediately try it there as well, just to make sure that it works.
Yes, so you can try it there as well. You can open it here, your entire agent, you can have the try and playground. The only
Exactly,
thing
the playground,
is
the chat
all you
playground.
can all you'll be able to do here is to chat with it and use the tools that are available in the portal,
Of
not
course.
in the code, because well, yeah, you
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
anything to run. Let's give it even something funnier. Keep your answers short and be um, condescending. I hope no, I did not write it well. There we go. Be condescending, because he's an agent. He needs to be condescending. Hello, Smith. And yeah, we can see that You can chat with
Yeah.
it. You can get the answers. It's pretty cool to see you here. What can I do for you in this realm we call the matrix? Yeah, you know. Um, but yeah, that's about it. You can add knowledge and oh, he actually knows about actions. That's super cool. That was not here
Oh,
like last week.
oh, oh my God. Yeah,
Last
yeah,
week
yeah.
this was not here, so
That's really SaaS,
super
right?
cool. Yeah, I have no idea how. You know what? Which versions do you have? Let's see if it can know. I don't think. I don't think so. I would be super surprised. Yeah, it just says, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
call this one and yeah,
okay.
submit an
Yeah,
output, and you can submit an output because it's a
yeah,
playground. But yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and so also here you can structure everything, right? So you start with creating once you are here in a portal, you'll start with creating a hub, and within a hub you'll start creating your projects.
exactly. So if you go to the overview here, this is the project I'm using,
Yeah.
and the hub. I think have you here somewhere reference to the hub? No, I don't. So you can see here
Oh,
every project must be inside the hub. You can have
exactly.
multiple projects inside the hub.
Yeah.
The hub is essentially, think about it as a security dome above your project. So when you grant someone permissions, you grant them to the hub, and then you add projects to that hub, and all the users under that hub can access to those projects.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, so oh yeah, indeed, yeah, very impressive. Clearly, there still needs some work to be done. But
Absolutely.
well,
Don't use it in production. Not yet. Please be patient.
no, yeah, 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 very impressive, right? And now it's just about the use cases, yeah, the business cases, and yeah,
Yep,
again, just like you
exactly.
said, be a little bit patient, and then, well, yeah, it will
I'm
become very powerful.
I'm personally super stoked about it. Um, if I may dare to predict what will happen in the future, and I hope that it's true. I don't know if it's a prediction or a hope. Okay, let's put it this way. But I believe the way we will go in the future is we will have like a centric agent or central model that all the agents are connected to that centric agent, and then you just talk to one agent, and this agent knows how to manage others, and eventually you will just like we have today microservices systems with the reverse proxy at the beginning. You'll have something similar with agents where you will have the main agent with a bunch of micro agents at the end of it, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah,
systems will probably behave.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that it would be quite something, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
future is bright.
Future is bright. It is indeed. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's
Oh,
already
there we
such a
go.
revolution, but yeah, well, it's only going to be better. So that's interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, very good. Well, I don't know. This was what you want to share, or do you have any other
um
thoughts
No, I
or
think that's about it. So again, go clone Agent Smith, and
exactly?
you're welcome to follow me on socials if you want to. And
Yeah,
thank you for the
yeah.
time.
Well, yeah, you're very welcome. You also have a blog, I noticed.
Yes, it's not as maintained as I would want it to be. I just write it once in a very long while. I do have an article that should come up soon, so uh, you're welcome to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, well, let's formally wrap up then here. Well, thanks indeed for yeah showing this new state-of-the-art technology. Yeah, yeah, very impressive. So let's see how it develops. And I think to the audience, thanks for joining us for this podcast again. And we hope to see you next time.